Don't Give Up the Ship is a really fun pilot episode for DuckTales. I'm watching DuckTales for what I'm considering the first time as an adult because I don't really remember the episodes very well from my childhood. I don't know if I ever really watched them that routinely, though of course I've seen bits and pieces over the years. This pilot episode first aired in 1987, and it's actually the first part of a mini series within the first season called The Treasure of the Golden Sons. And in this episode, Donald Duck has gone off to the Navy, so Huey, Dewey, and Louie have gone to live with Scrooge McDuck. And Scrooge McDuck's not particularly interested in them. He keeps them in the attic, not in any punishing way as such, although it doesn't treat them very nicely. Um, but he's all about, children should be seen seldom and never heard. But they're bored, so he lets them go to the museum, his museum, with them. And Huey, Dewey, and Louie end up seeing the Beagle Boys trying to steal this wooden ship that's in the museum, but Scrooge McDuck does not believe, and he grounds the boys because he refuses to believe that the Beagle Boys were in his museum stealing an artifact. So Huey, Dewey, and Louie have to take it upon themselves to try and save this artifact and stop the Beagle Boys from getting away with it. I think this is quite delightful. It's very gripping, but what I love most about it is the little emotional journey that you go on with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. It is quite emotional because it starts off with them saying goodbye to Donald, their Uncle Donald, as he goes off to the Navy. And Donald is in it a little bit, but not too much. At some point in the episode, the Ducks receive a letter from Donald, and when they're reading the letter, we get to see Donald on screen. Me being a big Donald Duck fan, that was something that I really liked. I love Huey, Dewey, and Louie in this one. They're so likable. Often they can be quite cheeky in the cartoons, but with this one they're really sweet, and Scrooge's actions really have no foundation. And I really wanted the best for them, and I wanted them to be believed. I wanted Scrooge to get on their side. I won't say what happens, but I really thoroughly enjoyed this one. With it being a multi-parter, I believe it's a 5-parter if I'm not mistaken. I've tried to not read too much into the Treasure of the Golden Sons miniseries because I don't want to spoil the next episode, but I believe it's a 5-parter, which is going to be quite interesting. I'm curious to see what happens next and how the rest of the season develops. There are many, many episodes. There are 65 episodes in this first season alone. This had a very strong run and did very, very well for itself. And just based on this first episode, I can completely understand why, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Of course, we have Tony Anselmo voicing Donald Duck, and the brilliant Jym Cummings as El Capitan. Scrooge McDuck is Alan Young, and we have the brilliant Russi Taylor as Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And I have to say, Russi Taylor voicing Huey, Dewey, and Louie is brilliant. She's great at this. She does sound quite a lot like Clarence Nash, who used to voice Huey, Dewey, and Louie alongside Donald Duck back in the day. And I think the voice acting there is great. Although in the beginning, I did think it was a little bit hard to understand the conversation between Donald and the Ducks, which is not usually the case. But for some reason, I thought it wasn't quite clear. But I think once my ear got used to it, it was perfectly fine. But I watch everything with the subtitles on anyway because I just enjoy subtitles. I really liked this first episode. I thought Don't Give Up the Ship was a lovely introduction to Huey, Dewey, and Louie. If you'd never seen them before and this was the first time you were meeting the Ducks, I think you'd really enjoy them. And Scrooge McDuck went through a really nice journey with this one. Great to have a decent amount of Donald in this. Looking forward to the next one. It's a pretty decent opener.